at 4:03 p.m. on Tuesday, November 17th, 2025. The board members here are present here at the Tallahassee Room in City Hall, along with members of the public. With the assistance of the Communications Department and the Information Technology Department, this meeting is live streamed on the Ethics Board's website, and we are recording it for future reference. There's a delay with online communications, and we should all be patient. As always, we thank those members of the City of Tallahassee for their support. For those attending the meeting online, please make sure your microphone is muted. We ask the public to email ethics@talgov.com if they wish to speak online on agenda or non-agenda items. Those who have submitted their names will be allowed to speak as scheduled. While the meeting is in progress, please do not speak during the board's discussion. We have set aside 2 different places on the agenda for the public. For those who wish to make a public comment, please complete a speaker request form and forward it to the administrative specialist, Ms. Tasker Leverson Green. Be sure to state what you wish to speak about on the form. Public speakers will be given up to 3 minutes in accordance with the board's bylaws. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now we will have our roll call.
Kristen Costa, Patrick Kelly,
He's here.
Rika Calhoun, Commissar, Caroline Clanky,
Here.
Mary Alice David,
Here.
Brian Smith. Madam Chair, we have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Next, we will do approval of the minutes. Has everyone had a chance to take a peek?
Yes.
Any questions, concerns, corrections? Okay, seeing none, I would entertain a motion.
To approve?
Any
Second.
seconds? Great. Mr. Commissar moves to approve the minutes from the last meeting, and Ms. Clanky seconds. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Next, is there any public comment on agenda items?
No.
Okay. Next, we will move on to the ethics officer report.
Thank you. And I promise to not attempt to get a report from the minutes this time. I've lived that down with staff since the last meeting. This period covers October 14th through November 5th. During this period, we did get to distribute the ethics guide to all city employees through their emails and got good responses. So we're very pleased with the city's cooperation in making that happen. We continue to advertise the campaign contribution refund program. It was in utility bills and to some degree, we've seen the results. We conducted ethics complaining. We completed a first draft that we will review today on the advisory course for advisory board members. We prepared materials for this meeting. We began the development or continued the development and course on instructor techniques. I hear from city employees. I've heard from city employees, and I wanted to create a course that I could take Tasker through, and I needed other people in the class, so the city's interested in that. And it will be very similar to a certification program that helped develop the FDLE. Staff conducted research toward development of the 2026 city employees annual training, and we're going to do something called adaptive learning, which will allow us to kind of personalize the course based on how people understand the information and based on, for example, we'll focus on one track on leadership. So we can focus the discussion to people in leadership on leadership and ethical decision making. So it'll follow along those lines. So we challenged ourselves with that. We did print the annual report, and the beautiful annual report is in your Notebook, thank you, Tasker. Um, we placed an action item on the November City Commission meeting, which is tomorrow at 3 o'clock. And we created posters, core values, anything in my mind, anything we do to express and promote who we are and what we are. We should take that opportunity. So we'll bring these to every meeting and display them for people who are watching. And if you notice, if you look closely at it, we emphasize respect. That's why you see it twice and you see it different to emphasize respect. And then there's also a poster that I'm having framed, and I will put it on the hall outside our office area for the employees to see. And we perform administrative duties and responded to complaints as necessary. If you look at the bottom there, you see we spent $50 to boost advertisement of the campaign contribution refund program, which is a lot less expensive than the $10,000 we spent last year and got almost no response. So we're learning. We're getting better at it. We paid an extra $61 to the end of the subscription year to have access to the AI portion of the articulate software. So we're gonna pay a little bit more so we can have access to AI. The cell phones, you see the natural voiceovers, we still use that, so we pay $21 for that monthly or 22. Legal services, payment to John for what he does. There is a Uber trip there that actually was personal. And somehow I paid for it with the city thing because the last thing I did was the city thing, so it automatically picked it up. It said it was expired, so I didn't think it'll pick it up, but it did. So I had to go down to the first floor and pay for it cash. And Tasker has the receipt in case any of you want to see it. So I did correct that. Facebook boost again. I think the total Facebook boost was probably $100 for the people that I had them do this. So those voluntary expenses came to less than $4,000 for the month. Next, you have the budget. The budget is up. The overall amount that is allotted was 400 some thousand last year, and now this year is 525. If you go under internal service fund, it's 560090. Now, the next one over, 560100 vehicle replacements. They just disperse the money between the different departments, add it to our budgets, and then take it out. So no harm done. It's not really coming out of our budget, what's allotted for us. It's just their way of expending it. We start the new fiscal year. We've already spent about 40,000, and we're in good shape. Any questions about anything I've gone over thus far? Ethics complaint, there's nothing to report at this time. For referrals, a person called to say that he can help with a burglary. And the complaint was that TPD was not following up with them. And, you probably be open-minded. It's been my experience. Most times there's more to the story, but I still try to stay open-minded and help as much as I could. So I referred the person to internal affairs at TPD and also referred them to criminal justice standards and training professionals program if indeed there was anything untoward. Second caller had a similar case, identity theft. I want to tell her to get in line because I've experienced that myself, where I practically identified where the person stole a money order and cashed it. It belongs to my wife's business. And TPD didn't want to do anything. It happened in Tallahassee. but was cashed in Quincy and nothing ever happened. So sometimes that happens. But I kept giving her suggestions, and everything I gave her, she had already done. So I just explained it's not really within my jurisdiction, and I don't have anything to offer. I offered North Florida legal services, been there. I mean, I just went through the whole gamut, so I could. Any questions about either of these or any concerns? Okay. And that is my report.
So next we will have the general update.
Okay, general update, just a reminder that next month we will have elections. Unfortunately, next month will be, Ms. Costa's last month. No, next month will be her last month. And, so we'll be electing a new chair. And depending on what it is, could possibly be electing a new vice chair. So and on the 16th, so and you can vote, even if you have to do it by phone. We have to have 4 people here for. But even if you're online, you can still vote. Okay? So whether you are in the middle of something, you're going on a date, just cut it for a minute and take care of business, then you can go back to dating. I really encourage you to take care of business. Campaign contribution refund, we're at something like 44. And while that may not seem like much, but that's probably twice as much as we've ever done. And they flow in every day. So we are making progress, and we're not spending a lot of money to do it. So we're learning how to get the message out. And I want to say thank you to the individuals running for office. One person has put it on their website. Another one, you could tell that he did a lot because when it first started, a lot of people, he shared the promotion, and a lot of people responded. And I think the most important thing is when the candidates see value in it and they push it. So that's been going well. I've already spoken about the annual report. Tomorrow we'll give the annual report to the city commission along with 2 recommendations that you all had. One had to do with covered individuals, and the other one had to do with employees doing business with the city. I've spoken with the Inspector General, who's here today. If you have any questions, he's here with his deputy assistant, deputy inspector. Steve. That's what the Inspector General? Yes. Okay, his deputy inspector general. And they were kind enough to come visit and share their thoughts. And John and I, if we need to speak to any of them tomorrow, we'll be prepared to do it. We're comfortable with your recommendations, and I've already shared with the city commission that the board will respect their decision because it's their decision to make. We just want them to give it serious consideration. So I'll be preaching tomorrow. I'll give my best effort. John and I are planning to go to Naples, Florida in January to a conference there. So we're preparing for that. The last thing may not be out yet, but I've heard through the grapevine from the person himself. Carlos called me today to say that he's been appointed judge for Leon County. And so I was really excited to hear that. I've always said that we have quality people on this board, and that I'm very fortunate to serve people like you all. And I really mean that. And so I'm excited. He's just one example of what we have on this board. And I'm happy for him. So he told me it was okay to share that. So I want you to know he's going to be a judge. I have a friend who's a judge. She have his phone number. And those are the general updates.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Floyd. Next, we have the advisory committee members ethics training course. Has everyone had a chance to review this course? And Mr. Floyd, do you want to explain this training?
Thank you. And I'll keep this brief, but the city ordinance requires that all advisory board members, it says committee members, commission, and board members, receive ethics training every year. The city attorney's office has largely championed that up to this point. And from the time I've gotten here 5 years ago to this date. And now we created an online course. I also suggested that while we deliver this course, that we also deliver the training on open government. So I thought in an opportune time when they're first starting and they have to do their first training, that they have a clear understanding of the sunshine laws and public records laws. And so with the assistance and cooperation of the city attorney's office, we put both together. I actually watched a video of one of the city attorneys conducting training and used that to write a script. But everything you see in the course on the lettering, all the open government work is done by Tasker. And I told her she was going to take the lead on this one. And after she got through freezing, because she froze for a moment, and then she realized she's doing it all alone. She's just taking the lead, and she did a good job. And so I want to thank you all for feedback. So far, I have gotten feedback from Attorney Clanky. It was good feedback, and I would encourage the rest of you, if you have something you want, please take a look at it. It's depending how sharp you are, you can finish it in about 30 minutes. Now, if it takes you longer, it's not the course. But it should take you about 30 minutes to go through it. But please go through it and give us feedback if you will. And that's all I have. Any questions coming about?
Next, we have our applicant for 7 at large. So after December 31st, 2025, we will have a vacancy for, if we can select someone now, then they can become acclimated by the time we have our next meeting. Of the 4 applicants, 4 of them were in the prior pool when we selected and seated. I'm sorry, 3 of the 4, I don't know, were in the applicants pool before. So if everyone has had a chance to review the applicants, we can certainly discuss today. If it's something that people haven't, honestly, then and want to take the time to review, we certainly could vote at the next meeting if you feel like you haven't had a chance to review and would like that time. So, any thoughts for discussion or?
I've had a chance to review and I'll start the discussion if you'd like. I think all the applicants are overwhelmingly qualified to sit on this board. Really, I thought that the quality of the applicants is indicative of the nature of this board and definitely commensurate with our experience thus far. But one, I think, had a particular experiential learning opportunity that I wanted to focus on, and it's Martha Louise Lang. She has a PhD in philosophy, which she's also been a counselor and educator, something that is very important for a key component, especially after the 2024 changes to our jurisdictional authority. She also has experience on the Florida Bar's grievance board. And that is a unique enforcement board that has a similar operational focus as this board. And so oftentimes we're in a niche of a niche. Our requirements as board members for this particular type of board is a special area. And I think that that experience on the Florida Bar's grievance board and as an ethics consultant, I think makes her uniquely qualified as an applicant. Even though all of them are really good, I thought Martha Louise Lang, as a result of that experiential learning opportunity, is uniquely situated for this. She also offers diversity in her background and cultural diversity. And she's a long-term member of our community as well.
Thank you for your input. Anybody else have any comments or want to either go off of that or have any other stars that were rising to the top for their and their thoughts on that?
I noticed, she stood out to me as well as, I think Brian Parker. The regulatory specialist. And they had,
Can hear you.
oh, my bad, I'm talking, so, I think he was the regulatory specialist as well as, ethics training as well. So those two, but mainly, I think I did have, Miss Lang at the top. Thoughts as well.
So I think another one that stood out to me was Lauren Grubbs, as well as Brian Parker. Brian Parker has the regulatory experience, so I felt like he had the exposure to at least the code of ethics for public officers and employees, so at the state level, and the analytical, skills that would be necessary to transition, or at least to translate to the city of Tallahassee. In addition, I think Lauren Grubbs was in our last pool and she was rated highly. She teaches ethics courses for nurses and has several publications and awards in this area. And so I thought she stood out to me as well. So those three rounded out my top four.
Kind of parrot what everybody else has said, all easily be qualified and the same job. These are very impressive resumes. They're all kind of set for it.
Yeah, I was like, how many pages?
CVs,
Yeah, for just the 4 people, I was like, whoa, it looks like 30 applicants.
I thought it was interesting. We're losing somebody with medical experience. The first 2 in this stack are both people that come from the healthcare field.
Mhm.
So that's definitely like a unique, for a bunch of lawyers that don't do any of that. That's a viewpoint of kind of real world that we don't see. So I thought that could be valuable. And then on Miss Lang, being on the bar grievance committee, I've done that before. And there's citizen members on there and somebody who's already had to wrap their head around like the probable cause standard and voting on things, like I think she would be, that's great practice for what we actually do here. It is very much a similar thing. And for a lawyer to do that in 2 groups, I don't think that's difficult, but for a citizen to already have wrapped their head around that for a 3-year term, I guess that would be definitely something that would make you well prepared for this because it's basically the same type of thing. So all of them looked good to me, I thought.
David, I want to give you a chance. You don't have to speak on anything, but I wanted to give you the opportunity
I'm
to.
mightily impressed. I liked both of the people with medical experience in case, we have a medical emergency, someone could jump in. I liked Lori Grubbs a lot. She goes by Laureen, but then she uses Lori as well. I liked her. I liked the fact that she's doing the biomedical ethics as well. And I liked Brian Parker quite a bit. I was also very impressed with the first lady as well. But I think Laureen Grubbs and Brian Parker were my 2 that I've been.
Mhm. Does everyone feel, I echo a lot of the same sentiment, so I would be repeating myself, saying those key things all stuck out to me as well. I guess what's everyone's temperature? Would you like to go around and truly say your first choice? I can pass around paper and you can write your first choice if that feels comfortable.
I think.
Or someone can make a motion, whatever.
Can we do that?
You can,
I think anonymous ballots though are not permissible. Voting by anonymous.
yeah, no, I think we should just do it by voice. By voice.
Um, I guess probably the easiest then would be to just go and each person say their first choice, if that's doable. Or I can go by each one and people can do a show of hands. I want to make it comfortable for
Yeah, I'm
everybody.
trying to-
I know, it's kind of, I know, it's almost like you want to do 1, 2, 3, 4, but there's only 4 also, so.
Do you think there's a consensus on like a top 2 amongst the group? And that would, I don't know, I'm just trying to think, narrow it down.
Yeah, why don't
We could start with that. Everyone could say their top 2. It doesn't have to be what order. And then we can go between those 2. How does that sound? Okay, I'm gonna start with you.
I'm gonna say Martha Lang and Maureen Grubb. Okay, I'm my top 2.
I'll go with the same.
Lang and Parker. That's my 1 and 2.
And Grubbs and Parker.
I say Grubbs and Parker.
And I would say Grubbs and Lang. So that is 5 for Grubbs, 4 for Lang, and 3 for Parker. So then we would be voting between Grubbs and Lang. Okay. Oh, Chief Kelly, does he get to vote?
Yes, you can vote.
Sorry. Chief Kelly, would you like to put in your?
Steve, are you there? Unmute. He's not. And so we have a
Okay, so then. Do we want to go around and say, or just have me call out and do by hand raise?
Do hand raises just down to the 2.
Okay, let's just do that. So, this is between Grubbs and Lang. So all those in favor of, Grubbs, raise your hand. Okay, and all those in favor of Lang. And 2. So it will be Miss Grubbs.
Yay.
No, I mean, everybody said, we were very lucky to have such great applicants and people that show an interest and care about this organization like we do, or like we do, so.
She's one that's applied before in the past, correct? So I think that's a message to the other people as well. Yeah, apply the next time there's an opening as well. You've already got the resume for it.
They were all very impressive, truly. And real like genuine members of our community, like that are coming to serve.
we get checked to make sure they live in the city.
Very important.
All right, so then next we have, public comment on non-agenda items.
None.
All right, so directives, what I have would be, your meeting tomorrow with the city, commission. And then, letting Ms. Phillips know of her new position. And, she'll still want to call her and if not, we have other choices too. And then, we are adjourned at 4:32.
Thank you all.